so cool. Oh my God, I really want to do that. What you doing? Yeah. Oh crap, I've got to get the nut out now. Oh well, hand's already dirty, so. Lucky dip. Well, a girl's got to get down and dirty and do the real work some days, right? Okay, let's clean them off. Let's put some oil in. Buddy. Hi friends, and thanks for joining me on today's video, because today's video actually represents the first month that I actually decided to pack up all my belongings, put them into storage and go full-time motor touring on the road. I don't know whether I'm crazy or not, but the first month has definitely been interesting, and I really appreciate all your questions and comments that I've got along the journey so far. And being 1 month in, well, I started the YouTube a month or so before I actually went touring full time. So it's got a different energy about it. And even though I'm in my home state at the moment, it's more palpable when you realize all your stuff's packed away and you don't go home and this is it, you're on the road full time. So I thought for this video I would share my experiences and answer your questions about what it's like full-time touring on a motorcycle. And you've asked some really interesting questions, amazing questions, and I really appreciate you all. I feel like it's more palpable when I'm filming it and I've got people watching along on the journey, and I feel like you all are with me. So it makes it more interesting and exciting for me and gives me that bit of extra brain stimulation as it is, and more it, it's not a holiday, it's an experience. It's a personal journey as such. I'm not a travel vlog. I mean, travel is just a byproduct of what I'm doing. It's more a personal journey. It's about deciding to have a change in life and seek freedom, both personal freedom within myself. And it's been such an interesting journey because filming it along the way gives me, it makes the journey more purposeful. and I love filming and editing, so it, it gives me something else to do as a solo female traveler. It's more, just gives me more activity, brain stimulation, more purpose to the journey, I guess. So, anyway, let's. I've made a cup of coffee and make one with me. Have a sit down with me and let's talk about the journey so far. I'm going to answer your questions, so let's get into it. Okay, so my first question is from the driver. Hi, thanks for your question. I have one. Since stepping out of the norm, rat race, same routine, day in, day out, like most of society, do you already have the desire or gut feeling this far to do this again in the future and keep your new chapter journey growing? Cheers. Great question. As some of you may know, I was actually traveling to different countries in the world every month. And COVID kind of put a bit of a stop to that. So now I've got the unique opportunity to actually tick off some of the things on my bucket list and have a journey of discovery, if you will. So I'm doing this full time for the next few years. I've got this real unique window of time because I've had to put some of the things in the business on hold. But that's a great thing in a way because I can now explore other possibilities. Business is still obviously going, but just in a different capacity. So it's definitely a unique opportunity. And I am so personally looking forward to doing more out back and more out of the way, away from society. I'm really excited about that. Not going to be your tourist place, girl. Is for sure. Next comment, actually, it's not a question, but I thought I'd put it in here, is from Dinish. And he asks, or he said rather, you are going great and we can watch it. We can also see that you look exhausted sometimes naturally. Don't stress yourself, relax with energy boosters. Videos can come after that. Take care. Thank you very much, Dinish. Yeah, I I definitely got to a stage where I was actually getting really quite exhausted with because I run the business as well as being on the road, the actual traveling, and some days like 2 hours of motorcycling seems like double what you do in a car. It's not the same. So yeah, I've been exhausted sometimes, and adapting back to camp life is yeah, camping, traveling, working as well. So running a business as well. Everything. Yeah, I do. I was wondering if I was actually coming across and looking. Sometimes I was looking a little bit fatigued, and I hope not sounding it, but yeah, definitely. I've just definitely got to manage my time accordingly on the road, and I really had to deal with that in one of the weeks, especially when it was raining. For sure, it was getting a little bit stressful that week. Robert Stanley's question is, hi, I'd like to see a video discussing what camping gear you carry and some pics showing your loaded bike. What will you do in winter? Yes, I'll do a separate video on the camping gear and my setup and all that. I won't do that in this video, but I will do it in a video coming up for sure. Great question and idea. But I can answer the part, what will you do in winter? I'm going to be up in the far north of Australia in winter. So I actually want to sort of expedite my time through Vic, New South Wales to get up to Queensland because that's the best time of year to be up there. And I want to avoid the monsoon season over summer up there. You can get lots of driving, rain, and flooding, etc. up there. So I've definitely got a plan for that. So I'm going to be up the nice, toasty, sunny area of Australia in winter. Yay. Terence LeBlanc's question or statement and question is here an idea: if money was not a problem, take a trip to Vancouver, Canada, and do a trip through the Rockies. Many riders would join you. Best time to do it is June through to September. I have always wanted to do the Rockies in Canada for sure. It won't be this year because obviously I'm doing Australia. But yeah, I've got some places in the world I definitely want to do a lot of moto touring in. So yeah, oh my gosh, Canada is definitely on my bucket list. Okay, the next few questions come from Bolin01. And he's put some obvious questions. What's your planned budget daily spend? Okay, so that I try and keep it relatively $50 and under a day. Hopefully more like $30 and under a day. It just depends on whether I camp, like is it a free camp, is it a cheap camp, or is it a caravan camp? Some days will be hostels, pubs, hotels, and I guess that'll go into the whole overall weekly spend, but I'm going to try and keep the average as reasonable as I can. I will do a video on the breakdown of that after I've been like another month on the road. So I've only just sort of started to really write those figures down because I thought that might be interesting for people, which obviously it is because you asked the question. Have you pre-booked accommodation, campsites, or booking ad hoc? So far, it's just been as I've come, basically. Which, yeah, for some areas that might work, others might not. But I'm going to keep out of the more touristy areas, so I might not have to pre-book. But let's just see how we go with that. What is your motorcycle security whilst traveling? I I've got a little device that I clip onto the wheel. What first aid equipment do you carry? I've got your small basic kit. Obviously, volume and size is very important when you've only got so much space on your bike. What tools, puncture kit do you take with you on an extended journey? Cheers, Steve. I'm actually will do a video when I do the camping and equipment. I'll also show you like all the tools and puncture kits and maintenance stuff that I take with me. So I'm actually will do a separate video on that. Thanks for your question, Steve. So my next questions come from Jan or Jan Arndt. Ardent. Hope I've got your name correct. Okay, I'll read it all out and then I'll sort of answer the each of the questions separately. How do you cope with being alone mostly? Have you been able to let go of those things that were driving you previously yet? Did you bottom out yet and have reached that Zen factor of total relaxation? With a month into your journey, what assumptions you made before leaving turned out to be different? Oh, I think the wind just moved my camera anyway. Are you running away from something or to something? As you can see, I'm more interested in the psychological side of things. Please share what you feel and ignore the rest of my nosy questions. I'm used to answering nosy questions. Okay, to answer your question and keep it relatively concise and linear, the first thing I would say about myself is I am hugely driven, like massively so. And I've found with particularly driven and ambitious people, such as myself, there's always a little bit of a story in the background. And for me, it came from a very dark past. And I think that has made me obviously a very introspective person, one who was always wanting more and better for herself in terms of self development and progress in life. And my brain is one of those, oh my gosh, it's hard to shut down. And I think in my pursuit of personal excellence and in attaining my dreams in life, it's actually rather ostracized me from a lot of people A lot of people cannot relate to me, as me, I can't relate to them either. And I think that's driven me to be very much used to my own company, and actually enjoy my own company because I'm at peace with myself. I know who I am fundamentally. I know what drives me, what why I'm like I am, and that perpetual need to want to create and build and improve. Um, yeah, is why I'm doing this trip, why I'm touring for a long time, because I want to go out of the norm and have out of the norm experiences. And I found, particularly when I went for my commercial pilot's license at age 24, I did my private license first and loved it so much. I went for my commercial license, and I think, yeah, it's definitely put me on the outside for sure. But I don't have a problem with that. It's the most liberating thing to live for yourself and not for someone else and societal's expectations, particularly what it is to be a woman. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I love being me and exploring the world. And so, yeah, that's quite isolating and yet so liberating and freeing at the same time. So, do I love being on my own? Absolutely. And are you running away from something or to something? No, I'm running to something to find what else can I do in life? What else experiences can I have? What else can I create? And yeah, that's particularly in a project I'm doing in the background soon. Um, I just want to keep pursuing and finding and exploring, because I believe that is the fundamentals of a great life. So from Twitter, Rewild All Golf Courses asks, without revealing too much, obviously, tell us how you keep yourself safe while traveling alone as a woman on a motorcycle. Great question. Yes, I have got a weapon of choice, which I won't reveal. Bear in mind, here in Australia, it's obviously not a gun, but I do have means to protect myself. Lord Facepalm, I love you. I love your Twitter name, I really do. Asked me, would you consider trading to an adventure tourer like a V-Strom or KLR 650 for the longer haul on the mainland? Yes, absolutely, and that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking I'm getting the motorcycle in Brisbane, so it's about, 6 weeks away now, because all the road up to Brisbane I'll be on will mainly be bitumen, so no need to trade it. Then I might as well get the last out of the GS 500. But yes, because I want to go into the deserts and off road and all that, yes, the Suzuki will not, the GS won't be the right bike for that. So definitely getting another bike. Greyman 003 asked me, how do you manage to shower and the normal human functions without a motel room, etc.? Great question. So far, it hasn't been a problem here in Tassie. Even in the free camps I've done, there's actually been a toilet block like a couple of minutes walk away. So that hasn't been an issue yet. If I'm free camping and not near a shower, I will do like a sponge bath, and I will get a solar shower. Particularly when I'm on the mainland, that'll be more of an issue, and I'll probably need a shovel one day, a little shovel. So, yeah, that won't be pretty. So, Peter Mead on Twitter asked me, what's the backup plan in the event of a mechanical failure? I do have a little bit of a tiny bit of mechanical background, in the fact that I had to do that for my pilot's license, and I've learned a little bit of the basics of motorcycle mechanics. However, I have got a support crew provided by my company, quite a few days behind me, so if I get stuck, I've got their help. I'm trying to do this as solo and independent as I can, because that's just me as a person. But yeah, that's also a backup as well. Full Metal Princess on Twitter asked me, before you arrived, did you have a fear of the animals and reptiles you'd encounter? Oh, girlfriend, absolutely yes. Here in Tasmania, the snakes are venomous. And I've nearly stepped on a couple, scared the living bejesus out of me. And yeah, I mean, if they bite you, they can kill you. So, oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I think you've got to have a respect of wildlife. Snakes are probably my biggest fear. Don't like them, with good reason too. Costa from Twitter asked me, how are people treating you? I come across so many awesome people on my journeys fairly well. I haven't come across too many drongos yet. And Chris Grau, I hope I've got your surname correct, on Twitter, the shorter videos onto it. Yeah, I was thinking my videos are getting a little bit long, so I've definitely cutting the time back on them. And a question for you guys, how many videos are you liking? One video a week, two videos a week, or three videos a week, but shorter lengths? Let me know in the comments section below as well. Currently, I'm going to be doing two videos a week, and I'll make them like anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. How are you coping with being on the road by yourself? Any fears or anxiety? I love being on my own. That is fantastic. Any fears or anxiety? I mean, there's always the drongos, idiots on the way. That can, I mean, I haven't come across any weirdos this trip, but when I was camping in the past, I've had a few, weirdos set up nearby, and which makes you want to move camp. So, luckily, my camp setup is pretty quick and easy to move if that became a problem. That's probably more of an anxiety. Who else is out there on the road? I mean, as I've experienced personally, there are some nutters out there. That's another story for another day. So, yeah, yeah, trust me, yeah. More the people variety, what can be anxious for me. Super Low HG asked me, when are you riding through South Australia, mate? I think it'll be around about October-ish this year. Haven't quite nailed when I'll be exactly there, but it'll be towards the end of the year. Okay, so TNT said, hey, 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 sounds like a great adventure. It is. I have a couple of questions. How many miles will this ride be? Well, because I'm not doing a complete just straight circumnavigation of Australia. I'm going to be going inland, I'm going to be exploring, I'm going to be going in the desert, down all sorts of tracks and exploring. So I'm guessing 30 to 40,000 kilometres all up. So yeah, so it won't be completely just a circumnavigation, and I may have to come back to Tassie at the end of the year for a couple of months because there's an exciting project I'm working on that I'll have all my bike content up. Anyway, I won't be behind in that. So yeah, it's not going to be just a straight round Australia trip. Laura Conti asked me, finding a good spot to camp, soft ground, space to turn off road, etc. Yeah, wiki camps is great. I am finding. I'm sort of doing a little bit of planning ahead. So if one option doesn't work out, there's another backup option, which sometimes, if there's too many people or it's all congested and I have to find another one or whatever the issue may be, there's always sort of a bit of a backup plan. So far, it's been smooth sailing, but as with traveling, I don't expect that that's going to be the whole story the whole way through. Ronald Vermage, hope I've hope I haven't insulted you with how I pronounced your surname. Okay, you've got a couple of questions, so I'll answer them. Question one, how do you pick the route for the next leg of your journey? Are they random, pre-landed in a bigger picture? I have got a bigger picture, though I am flexible with it because sometimes it doesn't always go to plan as what happened down in Queenstown. There was some more videos that I wanted to do there, but the weather, and I had to sort of keep moving. Question 2, how long does it take on average from bike start to post production finish to create one of your awesome videos? Great question, and thank you. Glad you're enjoying them. Listen, a day to ride and film. Editing can take anywhere from 5 to 12 hours, depending on the complexity of it. So, yeah, it's taking a couple of days. Yep. Next question. Will you be doing bike reviews in the near future? Of course, all sponsored by various bike manufacturers around the globe, since Tassie looks like a nice test area circuit to ride and enjoy with enough terrain differentiation. Oh, yeah, Tassie's just a motorcycling mecca. Absolutely. I haven't even done hardly any off-road tracks yet because I don't have the proper bike for it, the tyres and everything. So wait till I get my adventure tour when I'm back in Tassie. Those roads, I'm going to eat them up for breakfast. Yeah, one day, yeah, see where the channel goes. Definitely, definitely would love to do bike reviews one day for sure. But I'm just enjoying the journey. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of fluid. I'm doing the tour, and yeah, getting a bit windy here. I'm doing the tour, so that's my main focus, not sort of like bike reviews and that. But yeah, one day if the opportunity came up, why not? Why not? Next question. How many and which type of cameras do you operate while filming? Sometimes up to 5 action cams on the actual motorbike itself. And to be honest, with the cutaway shots, I'm using a phone. The quality is excellent, as you've probably seen. What kind of software do you use to create and produce your videos? I'm currently using Power Director. I used to use Adobe, but I'm finding I really like Power Director. So yeah, that's my software of choice at the moment. Valhero Rides. I think I've pronounced it correct. How's the bike doing? The bike is going like a charm. It's great, but obviously I'll need to upgrade it for an adventure tourer because that's more of the riding I'm going to be doing on the mainland. Feisty Philly asked me, how is your mental health? Thank you for asking me. Well, a year ago, I was sort of going in and out of boardrooms. Now I'm going in and out of the tent and on the motorcycle. So, yeah, I would say my mental health is way better this year. Wrangler Wayne, simply put, how are you? Oh, Wayne, one of my favorite people on social media. I am going great. I'm going great. I am, you know, this experience is teaching me what it's really like to live again. I'm loving the camping. I'm loving the camaraderie. Especially thank you yourself because we've been sort of friends on Twitter a long time now, and it's great to have people like you that are so supportive of my journey that's been on social media, and yeah, I'm getting more of a balance in life. Ken Garner has asked, would you mind showing a little bit of your camp setup, maybe even some end of the day campfire chat whilst enjoying a whiskey? My drink of choice is wild turkey, so a bit of a bourbon girl. And I'm definitely going to be doing some campfire chats, and I'm actually going to do an individual video on my camp setup, etc. Jerry on Twitter asked me how many days supply of food can you carry with you and what kind of knife and or multi-tool do you favour? I'm currently carrying 3 days worth of backup powdered food with me, and I usually sort of get food as I go, usually a couple of days supply. And with the kind of knife or multi-tool, I actually prefer, yeah, the Leatherman Charge is what I've got. It's a great, great all round tool. It's got a knife on it, it's got a little saw, it's got all sorts of things on it. So, yeah, loving it.